Hi, everybody. It's Maria from What's the Story with Maria. How's it going? Welcome to our show. Tonight is Tuesday, May 12th, 2026. We are coming to you live from New York. I was in Virginia last week and did a live show from there, and that was really fun, kind of on location show. And so this week, when I came back and to get my little Mac computer, which I usually come to you live from, to check in, I couldn't get the Wi-Fi connected. So I'm coming to you from a different computer. That's why it looks a little strange. You're not used to the setting. But anyway, I'm in New York and I'm back in my apartment and it's just a different angle. So if you're seeing this and you're like, where the hell is she? I'm just on a different computer in a different angle. So this week was a busy week. I was away for a few days and I had a really nice time. I've never been to Virginia, but it's a beautiful state and it's different. We were up in the mountains, the Shenandoah Mountains up there. Beautiful, absolutely very clean, gorgeous air. We brought the baby who's getting gigantic. And so that was a whole other thing. But in the meantime, back to work, hitting back to my jobs, back to today. I was teaching with Susie and Christopher Hines. We had a great teaching session and wow, they were coming out of the woodwork today. We had a lot of students. So I work in the performing arts after school, and it's nice to see young people still wanting to express themselves. And so speaking of expressing oneself, as Leo knows, I always have kind of recommendations for the next few weeks. So Leo, what do you think of that? What do you think of the fact that I have recommendations coming up? There we go. Thank you, my love. So this Saturday, May 16th, 2026, the New York's biggest dance parade takes over Manhattan. So this is the official dance parade. How do I know about this event? It's been going on for years. And our friend Chauncey Dandridge is part of the dance police. And I think Susie Campanero does it too. And what they do is they're part of this parade and they make sure everybody's dancing and having fun. That's what they're policing if people are not having fun. So what it is there's groups from all over the world, all kind of dances represented here. And they start at 17th Street and 6th Avenue. And it's at 11:45 a.m. is when the parade starts. And it goes all the way, it ends at Thompson Square Park. So I think it goes from like maybe, let's figure 12 noon to 3 p.m. is the parade. And when I tell you dance companies from all kinds of like flamenco, ballet, jazz, stepping, it's just like it's a crazy amount of incredible energy and talent. And so you can line up on 6th Avenue and watch that. And then I don't know exactly, I'm sure it says event details. They'll have a route that you can follow to watch the parade, but it's just a joyful event and it happens every year. And they raise money for all kinds of wonderful things. But what I love about things like this is, and I grew up in Massachusetts, which is also very big with the arts and that's always wonderful. So we always had so many great things. But when I was in Virginia and when I have gone to other places in the country, not California, because California has so much, stuff as well. But you realize that, a lot of things are really spread out or people don't have the same resources that we have or whatever it is, they're not exposed to it. And we're so, 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 so lucky to live in the tri-state area, I think. And California is amazing, and just the West Coast is amazing. You have so many things happening in Seattle and Oregon. So take advantage of anything you have in your communities and support it. And this Saturday, if you want to go see the dance parade, that's where to find it. Also, thank you, Leo. Barbarino's big night out. We love Scotty Barbarino. He's a great friend of ours. He's been so wonderful and supportive. I've known Scott for like 35 years. And so he does this really great thing. It's almost like a circus, It's like he's got all these amazing performers. And it's called Barbarino's Big Night Out. It's Tuesday, May 26th, which is 2 weeks from tonight, at Lips Drag Show Space. And that is on, I wrote it down. Let me see, 227 East 56th, which I believe is between 2nd and 3rd. And that's a great space. And so I let me, because that's too small for me, that writing, but I wrote it down. Well, Yaz, I always say I want to make sure I say his name correctly. So I'll come back to Yaz. I have all these written down. Oh, okay, here we go. So Yaz Fukuoka is on keys, and then we have Brianna DeSarzo, Aaron Valentine. He just did a show at Don't Tell Mamas. He's fantastic. Zach Carter, George Waters, Leslie and Lolly. They are like a ventriloquist act. Marta Sanders, Leanne Borghese, Avant Garbage. There she is in all her glory. And so they're going to be, the show starts at 7 and at 6:30 the doors open. Yeah, so go and check it out. And that is 2 weeks from tonight at Thank you, Leo. Thank you so much, my friend. So that's what we have coming up. Before we zoom in our guests, we like to tell you about these things. And let's see, my cousin Rena Crinelli Berge has joined us. Hello and happy Tuesday, beautiful people. Hi, Rena. Let me check.
Hey, Maria.
What, honey?
Hey, Maria, can we take a second and tell everybody who's our guest tonight? We'll just real fast.
I would love to tell everybody who our guest is tonight.
A big fish, small pond, got my days free and the nights long. I create my own reality. Who I am is fine with me. As famous as I wanna be. Who I am is fine with me. It's who I am.
Our guest tonight is Lisa Ellex. That's right. So if you don't know who Lisa Ellex is, she's an amazing playwright, a director, an actress. I just saw one of her shows at the West Bank. IRT, the IRT Theater down in the Village. And James Lazar, who we all know, everybody loves Jim Lazar, and he is the owner of Brandy's. He's also a great friend. And he directed it. So he's also directing a new reading of hers that's coming up. And so that's how I first heard about Lisa. And I kept thinking, I'd like to get her on the show. I really want to get her on the show. And she's got a bunch of things coming up. So this was the perfect time.
She's got the best picture I've seen all year.
So who is this but our friend Sidney Meyer? You had to see him in the show. It was beyond hysterical. Sidney Meyer played the mother-in-law, and who was so funny. Just hysterical. Just a highlight, total highlight. So Sydney, I don't know if Sydney's in upcoming things, but maybe we'll hear from Lisa and she'll fill us in on everything. Also, John Pietero and Lori Towers did reach out and say they wouldn't be able to join our show tonight, which they usually do. I know, because they had a review. So they are reviewers. They're DJs, they're musicians, they're poets. They do so many things. And we can find them on WFMU.
Sheena's Jungle Room. They'll be on tomorrow night. Oh, speaking of which, in a connection to them, happy birthday, Jill Crozen.
Oh, how nice. And Jill does check in from time to time. So
Downtown Diva is what they call her on WFMU.
Yeah. So that is a really fun thing that Leo is part of. He listens in every week and connects with them. And they do this amazing, kind of almost like a downtown songwriter, song list. And they tell you the stories behind it. So I really love John and Lori's show. And it's just, you can't go wrong. And also, if you miss it, which I do because I work on Wednesday nights, You can listen to it archived. They archive everything. You can listen to it the next day or 2 days later, whenever you want. So now, Leo, did you have something you wanted to share?
Yeah, there's the information for John and Lori. They're on at 7 p.m. my time, 10 p.m. your time to the witching hour in New York, WFMU.org. So make sure you guys take a visit. I did. We have, all my fun stuff. It must be because I'm such a comare with my friends in New York and all the Italians, that all this Italian stuff just pops up in my feed. So let's return to another segment for Leo's favorite content. There we go. And it's going to be from, we get the yellow end. We're going to share the screen here. This is about cooking and learning in Italian. So I think you're going to like it if you don't freak out.
I love it. Leo chooses this content. I don't see it until he shows it to us. It's just
and I'm very conscious about here we go.
Oh. No. Madonnina mia! No. Carica! Oh, I need to wear something. Goodbye.
Eat the spicy arrabbiata by the pasta queen and fight against those vampire personalities. Ingredients.
Look at the old tools.
Wow.
Che sensazione sarà perché ti amo. Perfectly al dente. Whoa, it's fire. The pasta gods are spicy.
Oh my God. So she's crazy. I mean, I know she's a nut. You know who loves her? Bill Goffey.
That makes sense.
Yeah, that makes total sense. I'm going to venture to say she's a Libra. I'm going to venture to say that. Yeah, she
reminded me when she got out of the bathtub and she went, oh, no. She reminded me of that video. Do you remember the video that Rena and you and I shared about the lady says, yes, I look fine. What do you mean I look fine? It's fine. And then she runs into stop criticizing me. And then she runs into the room. That's what this lady reminded me.
Oh my God. Yeah, this lady's, I don't know her name, but she's all over the internet. And Bill loves her. A lot of people love her. She scares me a little bit. But she's a great
little hot, huh? She's hot. Oh, hot.
Speaking of hot, who is this? Scott Ryan, my old roommate, and now a big real estate bigwig in Fort Lauderdale and Miami area and all that. And that's his little dog, Sparky.
Look at his little dog, too.
Why is it that the gays always hike up their little aprons?
He was just showing the tattoo. He wanted to show the artwork. That's the only reason, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, that's the only reason. Well, that is Scott. We love Scott. Scott and I worked together at the Duplex with Michael Isaacs for many, many years on Tuesdays. It was my first piano bar shift in New York. And so I spent a couple of years with those guys. And we had the best time. We used to call it Diva Free Zone. It was Monday nights was Big Diva night. So we were kind of like the goofballs the night later. And that is in our calendar. And I still have calendars. I have a couple. If you'd like, $10 for a 12 months of hotties. And some months have more than one hottie. So I guess Sparky counts as a hottie. Yeah, he's adorable.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, if you want a calendar, I do have them. And I'm thinking, Leo, this is our last year of calendars. We're retiring the calendar because we have done what we had to do. We accomplished 5 years of hot people.
I mean, we have Tony Award nominee Nicholas Connell in one of our calendars.
Oh my God. Yes. Titanic. We had Nicholas on our show a few weeks ago, and he is one of the co-creators of Titanic. And Titanic, and he's also my buddy, and he plays at the Duplex and at Brandy's. And I just love Nick so much. But he is, they got nominated. They got nominated for best.
I think it was 12 Tonys or 4 Tonys.
4 Tonys they were nominated for. I am very, the Tonys, I always enjoy the Tonys so very much. Guess who is going to head the Tonys this year? Who's the host? Pink. I'm sure they have something.
Really exciting.
I mean, I love that they're bringing like pop culture in, and she's great. Plus, to me, she's a theater performer because you see her.
Oh yeah, do you see her aerials and everything like that when she's singing and doing aerials?
And from what I hear, her daughter is a huge Broadway fan, and her daughter is now like 10 or something. So that might be part of why she wanted to be part of the Tonys. So anyway, speaking of theater, writing, creating, directing, our guest tonight is someone that has been in the business for a while, and she started off as in the theater, and then kind of transitioned to television for a little while. And she's an amazing playwright, director, actress. I just saw one of her shows down in the Village at IRT, My Ex-Husband's Funeral, which I enjoyed, and Jim Lazar directed, and Sidney Meyer was Sidney Meyer. And now she's doing something called the Mac One Acts. And I saw it coming up, and I said, I got to get Lisa on the show. So shall we bring her in? There she is. Hi, Lisa.
Maria.
How are you?
I'm well, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Well, of course, welcome. And I love your house, your apartment. It's beautiful.
Thank you.
What a setup. I love it. I'm a little bit of a pack rat, so anything I can stuff into this apartment is going to get into the
I'm a pack rat. You're just seeing the good angles. Don't worry.
Okay, all right. Well, I feel so bad, but it's beautiful.
Thank you.
Anyway, honey, I saw your last show, which was My Ex-Husband's Funeral. And so many people were great in it, not just Sydney. I happen to know Sydney. I didn't know you. I didn't know the girl who opened the show.
That's my daughter.
What?
My real daughter. My real daughter played my daughter in the show.
She's phenomenal.
Oh, thank you. Oh, she'll be so happy to hear.
And when I saw her after the show, I actually vocally, she was my favorite person in the show.
Oh,
so,
thank you.
I love her voice, and I love her delivery of a song.
Yeah, she's been a singer-songwriter since she was very little, and she used to book her own. Like at 14, she would book her own gigs all around the Village, and then she went on to Performing Arts High School. Then she went to Berkeley, and then you went to Berkeley, right? Did you go to Berkeley?
No, I did not, but I grew up in Massachusetts.
Okay, all
so
right.
That's probably what you're thinking. A lot of the people that I work with, and so I know so many of those Berkeley grads, and so Berkeley is very close to my heart. I spent a lot of time there. So
okay, so she's been performing all around. Never did a play, never did a show. So I was nervous for her, like on top of the usual nerves that you have.
Yeah,
I was just nervous for her. And she was fine. She was fine.
Yeah, and she's really she's like a serious entity. Like I don't know her. So, but what I got from her energy is she's very serious about like what she's doing and what she's in. And I just loved the way she performed that song. I really was plugged into it. It was beautiful.
She wrote that song too.
She wrote it.
Yeah, she wrote that song. The opening.
Wow. Mm-hmm. Now I'm even more impressed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you can definitely tell her. I really love it.
I will.
So that was the last thing that you did that I know of. Now I know that you're working on a new reading. Why don't you tell us about the new reading that's coming up on May 20th?
There's Middletown Arts Center is in Middletown, New Jersey. A hop, skip, and a jump from Penn Station. And once a year they have a one-act festival reading contest. So this year I've been asked to, as a finalist in the contest. I was in it again 2 or 3 years ago. Is also in, and it's just a fantastic arts center in New Jersey. They do all kinds of artistic things for the community. But this is Thursday night. It's this Thursday.
Yeah, coming right.
Not, for fear of nepotism, though, my daughter's in this again. And
Listen, I love when family members work together. I think it's great.
Well, I'll tell you why she's in this. I actually wrote this about her.
Wow.
Because, and it was produced last year. There's a theater in Brooklyn, in Industry City, called Brooklyn One Productions, and they put it up as in their festival, and then I submitted it out here this year, and they're going to get to hear it out here. So
you're in Jersey, so you live in Jersey.
I'm between.
Yeah, me too.
But my daughter didn't do it the first time. Another actress did it, fabulous actress. And I said, yeah, let her, because she's just building a resume. I'll let her do it.
Yeah, why not? And it's great. Okay, so what can you tell us something about this new one act?
It's about how we have all become, when we think we're not, we've all become dependent and or addicted on our screens. Either be it the phone or whatever screen that you're using every day, and the dependency. Well, a lot now. It's how much. I guess the play is about how much is necessity and how much is dependency, emotional and physical dependency on our phone.
Interesting.
So
I ask myself that every day.
So a young woman has to go to therapy. She becomes so dependent that she has to see a therapist about it. And I don't want to give any more away.
Oh, okay. Wow. I bet many people can identify with that.
Yeah.
I mean, I find myself like, I use it for a lot of different things, of course. And I do this, I do the show, and then I also teach. So when we're teaching, it's so crazy. One of the things, I mean, we're really plugged in, but we also, use it to bring up songs and stuff. And, but the kids, it's really hard to get them to put their phones down.
Yeah.
Like the age group that I teach is 15 to 20.
Oh, forget it.
Yeah. You have to constantly say, honey, you don't have to put it away, but just put it down. Like, we need you to listen right now. Like, and they're great. Like, they're good kids, they're there because it's performing arts. It's after school. Leo can definitely jump in on this, but it is a challenge. It's like all during the class, like, honey, just put your phone down for a second, and I mean, Susie calls one of our students' phone. She says it. She's like, I'm just going to call you phone, so Leo, jump in.
My niece and I were at lunch the other day. I took her out for, she had to go shopping for Mother's Day. So I discreetly said, get your stuff ready to go so we can go down to Target and get, our mother something. And we went to lunch, and she's on her phone. And I said, excuse me, have I pulled out my phone at all once and texted anybody while we were together? No, then put your phone away or it's going to be mine. She's 13.
Yeah.
So, and I'm with Australia. Ban them until they're 16.
Well, you know what I do think in schools, I know they just did this in New York, Governor Hochul.
Yeah, and New Jersey.
And Jersey as well.
Yeah.
Well, I love the new governor of Jersey too. I love all these women governors. And then Abigail Spanberger in Virginia. I think they're trying to get it done there too. I personally, as a teacher, think it's an amazing idea. Just as you come in, you have a little pocket, like in some of the schools, they have it in little pockets that you put your phone in, it has your name, and then you get it at the end of the class or the end of the day. And what they were saying was this phenomenon is happening in New York now, that where kids are actually speaking to each other and socializing more. It's like they're calling it a phenomenon, but the thing is, that's
That's how it used to be.
Right. Yeah, there's like even like one of the teachers they interviewed, she said, the principal said, there's actually laughter in the hallway,
Yeah.
you know? So I think it's a great idea personally. And I'm someone that does use my phone a lot, for many, many things. But even in the subway, I'm conscious of the fact that I spend a lot of time on the phone in the subway. And I try to make sure I bring a book. So I can say, you can't be on your phone in the subway unless it's an emergency. Just read your book instead,
Yeah.
So that's great. That's very of the moment.
They did a study. I just read this like 2 days ago about, and particularly with young people, but for everybody, they said there's a difference in your attention. Of course, if you're holding it in your hand,
Yeah.
more attention if you put it down. You have even more attention if you put it in your bag or purse.
Wow.
And more attention if it is not allowed in the room.
Whoa.
But you'll see like the younger kids, they just like they're jonesing for it even if it's in their bag, they're nervous.
Right. I know, it's crazy. Well, thank you for writing a play about that then, because it's definitely, something that needs to be addressed. So that's wonderful. And that show is called
that play is called What Viola Davis Did.
What Viola Davis Did. Okay. Yeah. And let me see that. So that night it's a one night, one act, and these are all the plays that are being read?
It is.
Wow, you really that's a nice night of playwriting there.
It is. I love one acts.
I do too. Yeah. It's so great and it's so inspirational. When I go to see other people's works, the first thing I want to do when I get home is write. Because I'm a songwriter, and I also write like monologues and things like that. And I'm always so inspired. I'm like, oh, I gotta hit that, that keyboard. Or I actually still write long, like if I write lyrics and stuff, I still write it on paper.
And wow. Yeah. See, I can't do it anymore because my mind now works so fast that I'll lose it.
Yeah.
Paper. But I did for the longest.
Do you, how do you feel about this? Because this is like a new thing that's happening. And I see it coming up. They're always trying to sell it to me. You know how you click on something and then forget it. Then you're like inundated with it. About the speak to text. Now they have these programs where you can, well, how do you feel about that as a writer?
I've never used it. So I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think there's some connection, your brain to your hands. I feel like there's something in the moving of I don't know. But
interesting.
I suppose it works for some people, especially like if you're, having racing thoughts and you want to get them down.
Maybe stand up. I can see it working in like a stand up, of someone that would think of something funny and just write down a story. I was wondering because this is a brand new thing now that's really big. I'm starting to see it on my feed a lot. And I was like, I wonder how writers feel about that.
But you know what? When we do things, advanced things, we lose the other skills. Like I said, I can't write in longhand anymore because somehow our brains are working faster because of brains.
Yep. I mean, I still do a lot of that only because I enjoy writing. I like actually enjoy the act of like handwriting, and I have kind of artistic handwriting, so I enjoy it. But like I still write letters, I still write cards.
I love that.
I had a student. I have a friend, one of my friend's daughters. She's going to help me with a project. Like I need her to read something for me and tell me what she thinks of it because she's the same age as my student. So I want her opinion. And I just wrote her like directions and I wrote them in longhand. And I thought, I hope she can read it because, she's 16 or 17. And, they're not really like, I'm like, did I write clearly? Or, they're not used to reading written word. They're used to reading like text, so it's a very interesting concept.
But also I heard, I don't know if this is true, that they're not teaching cursive in schools anymore. Is this true?
Stop teaching it. I don't know. How can they stop teaching that?
because
Crazy.
nobody's writing letters.
I
Nobody's
know.
writing letters.
I know. And even like when you turn something in now, you turn it in as a Word document or
Like,
things like that.
yeah.
You know what's really driving me crazy? This chat GBT stuff.
Yeah.
Because how do you know if your students are just using that and turning it in?
You want to know how? Honestly,
Tell me.
and you're a singer, so you have an ear.
Yeah.
You can tell. You could just tell by reading it, and I can tell. And it just happened a few days ago. Somebody wrote something, and I read it, and I said, "That's ChatGPT."
Yes.
It was. But also, a really good way to do it is make them a good exercise for you and for them. The first class, they have to write it in class, in longhand. And then you go home and you read their work, and now you know their voice. You know their
Oh, I love that.
So when something comes, or anything that comes in after that, you know that that's not their voice.
That is
But
phenomenal.
also, and it serves so many purposes. It's a great exercise for them. They have to sit there and write in longhand.
I love that. Yeah, that's something that's
Try
really
it. I want to
becoming.
know how it goes. Try it. I want to
Yeah,
know.
I'm going to. Yes, thank you so much. I'm going to. Okay, so let's cover your other stuff as well, because God, we could chat about so many things, but I want to promote. Okay, so you have What Happened to Frank,
Yeah.
and this is on May 21st, which happens to be my birthday. That's why I couldn't be part of it.
No.
Thank you for asking. So this is at the West Bank Community Room, 55 Bank Street in New York. I know where that is, exactly where that is.
Yeah.
So what do we need? Tell us about this play.
This play is based on a true story. Two people met at a bereavement group after they both lost their spouses.
Wow.
And they came together extremely quickly, as sometimes does happen.
Yep.
And they were married within 2 weeks.
Wow.
Remarried, and it's a true story.
Wow.
And someone I know, and there's 7 characters in the play. And it's what happens to Frank in the course of this.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's fascinating.
Yeah.
And it is true, like that rebound from the sorrow, that grief is such a, oh man, grief is such a strange and tricky little thing, isn't it?
Yeah, and people fall back on their bad habits, their old habits. They find new vices, and to dull the pain, to bury, to whatever. And yeah.
Well, that's interesting because I find, like, even with addiction, and I'm in recovery. I've been sober for 36 years, but I'm still so plugged into I love the recovery part of it, but I also am a bartender. I love being a bartender. I love being in both worlds, and I love the party life. I just cannot ingest it. It doesn't agree with me. But I've found, like, I had a friend whose daughter lost a lot of weight, for instance, many years ago, like a huge amount of weight. And I said to her, just keep an eye on her, because she's going to switch addictions. I promise you that. And sure enough, it's like, because I know that, that you go from one thing to the other, to that, like you were just talking about. So it's very interesting, like the mind and all that stuff is so much more advanced than we could ever imagine. And the tricks we play on ourselves, and so it's fascinating. What your play sounds fascinating.
Yeah, what we do to protect ourselves,
right?
Even if it's hurting us, but
Yeah, and just habits and filling that void,
Yeah.
filling that endless void, you know.
Yeah.
Very, very interesting. So how can they see what is the date is May
Well,
21st?
they have to come to the community room. May 21st. There's no admission. It's open to the public. It's the first reading ever, so I've never heard the play. I'm doing it to
Wow.
hear the play, but I am in it as well. And there's a talk back after. I'm always very eager to have feedback and the audience perception, and it helps me to the next phase.
That's wonderful. And people actually do like they'll jump in and say, uh,
Oh,
really? Oh, I love that.
yeah, and it's funny right away. Almost with anything of this type, you say, okay, any question? Silence, like death, that nobody. And then one person will start it, and then everybody's got something to say. Oh, it's good too, there'll be questions. It'll be like, wait, I didn't get the part about why did he do this? Why did he say that? And you go, oh my God, yeah, like I screwed that up. That wasn't clear. I got to go back and fix that.
Wow.
So it's really, really helpful. Really helpful.
Leo, jump in.
When did you start playwriting, Lisa? When was your first put your toes in?
The well, back in the 80s when I was acting a lot, I was part of a playwrights group, and the playwrights group needed actors to read their work every week. So they would, different playwrights would come in with different pieces of what they were working on, and they needed to hear it. You have to hear it.
Yeah.
And so doing that over and over and over again for weeks and weeks and weeks, I learned, in part how to write plays. And then again, being in scene study classes as an actor forever,
Yeah.
you learn, structure and plot and how to move things along. And then the strangest thing, and then I had always written, I was at the original Duplex forever way back when in the 80s. So you're writing your own shows and you're writing your own pattern, you're writing your own stand-up or whatever. But still different from playwriting. And then one night I was pregnant. I stayed up all night and this one act play fell out of me. It just
Wow.
fell out of me.
Was it just one person, or did you have characters in that one?
It was a 2-character play about a man and a woman at the movies. They were co-workers at the movies during World War II, and her husband is away at war, and he couldn't go to war. Basically, these 2 people that should not be in the movies together.
Right.
So I wrote it, and it got produced at Barrow Street Theater.
Wow. That's
in their one act festival. But it wasn't the same Barrow Street Theater as now. They
might have moved, yeah.
Took it over, but it was that theater, and so it started, and it just.
Oh, I love that. And how long ago was that?
That was
His daughter is
30 years ago.
Wow.
31 years ago. Yeah.
That's like I would consider that a channeling almost.
Almost. You know what? I feel like every play is a channeling, because you sit there, even like when you write a song and you see,
absolutely 100%.
Where did that come from? It's some divine something.
100%. Songwriting for me is channeling.
Yeah.
Except, I'm sorry, Leo. Let me just finish and then please jump in. Except when I'm commissioned to write something. Like there have been times when I was working in schools and I'd have to write songs for their shows.
Yeah.
That was different. But then I could see what the situation was and I could write as the character. So that was different. But yes, you're absolutely right about that. Yes, Leo, what were we going to say?
I was going to say I was in college. I was part of the International Women's Playwright Festival in Galway, Ireland. And I was I did 10 parts, 10 readings, new plays and some established plays, all women playwrights. So I played a lot of villains. But there was this woman whose play I read called The Monument. So moving. And she talks about how she was commissioned to write this story for Canada. She lived up in Canada, and she was a playwright, and she's supposed to write this historic story about Canada and some ship or something. And she sat down to write, but these characters just started talking to her, and they wouldn't shut up.
Wow.
And she couldn't go on to her other project until she got out Serko, who was the character that I played, and this other woman. And the premise of the play was he was a military soldier who this woman kidnapped because he had, you killed many youth, and so she took revenge on him. So it was a really deep, heavy play.
Wow.
And she couldn't finish. She couldn't get to that other project because these voices kept coming back every night, and just finishing until they finished her story. Then she was able to move on.
I believe it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. Okay, well, let's take a minute to do the food section of our show. First, I want to say hi to my friend Stephanie Greco. Hi, Stephanie. We went to high school together and did many plays and many creative things. Stephanie, I would like to get your son on the show at some point. He's a master chef, and he's been on the Food Network and all that stuff. And Valentine, her son Valentine. So anyway, let's talk about that at some point. But so what do we do here, Lisa? I always cook every night for the show, except unless it's like on location or something. But tonight, what did I make? This is a shrimp. Hold on, I have to hold it up. This is a shrimp dish that I threw together. So what is in, and I on the side is some avocados, but this is kind of like a Latin flavor. So what I did was I cooked Vidalia onions, roasted red peppers, sherry, garlic, lemon, and it's over jasmine rice with truffle jalapeno lime sauce.
What?
Yes. Truffle jalapeno lime sauce. So there's a company called Truff, which I love. Truff. And they make all kinds of like sauces. And it starts with truffle, which is like one of my favorite things. They even have truffle salt, which I use quite a bit. And so I did that. And I was going to throw some beans on there, but then I decided not to. But and then I got some lime here, but it's got a jalapeno lime kind of themey to it. So that's my main dish. And then for my salad, everybody knows how much I love my salads. Romaine lettuce with red and orange baby peppers, shavings of Asiago cheese, Persian cucumbers. Then I'm going to put a nocellara olive oil, which is like Leo, you can't have it because it's nuts. It's like a nut-based olive oil, and from Italy. And so I'm doing that, and then I'm going to put a honey ginger balsamic vinegar. And those are both from the New England Olive Oil Company, which I love. And because summer is coming soon, tonight for dessert, we're having a little Italian ice.
Yes.
A little rainbow Italian ice. I bought a 6-pack of that and put it in my freezer. So that's what
you bought a sixer?
Yeah, a little 6-pack of them. I'm trying to not eat as many because I eat a lot of sugar. And I'm trying to kind of cut back my sugar, but still have a little bit of it here and there. So that's what that's about.
I hope that's your dinner. That's your dinner, yes.
That's my dinner, yeah.
Oh, good.
I always cook and then I eat after the show. So Lisa, let's talk about food for a minute.
Yeah.
What is some food that you grew up with that you still love to this day?
Okay. I grew up with an Italian grandma, and so it was lasagna. It was risotto with sausage, mushroom, and saffron.
Woo!
It was pasta, spaghetti with fish. That was the crux of it. And
hey, go back to there. Go back to the spaghetti with fish because I'm exploring more fish.
Octopus.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, octopus. But about 12 years ago, I became 14, I became vegetarian.
Oh,
But I will tell you, I don't miss it. I do not miss. I did it very gradually. I did it for health reasons, and I do not miss it. I think about it, fond memories, and go,
yeah.
"Oh."
No, but I can see that. I mean, I'm nowhere close to it. My girlfriend tends to be a vegetarian for a little bit of the year, and then she's Cuban, so then eventually she like caves and has some ground beef or something, or like picadillo. They have a lot of that. But I really respect that because it really is better for you health wise, And there are so many options. Like there really are so many options. But I personally love seafood. I grew up in Massachusetts, so seafood,
Yeah.
and especially being Italian, like the fruta di mare and the super de pesce, all that stuff. I love it, love it, love it. We used to have a lot of that. I still make a lot of fish. Still make a lot of like flounder, and I love that stuff. That's really good. Shrimp. I mean, I make shrimp all the time. I always keep a bag in the freezer. You know.
Yeah.
You cook a lot of seafood or not so much?
I've been doing a lot of tuna steaks and salmon steaks lately, and my favorite are mussels, the black mussels. That's
Mu-
with the butter and
Oh
the
my
white wine, just steamed, just like that with the broth. And then, if I can, now I have to cut back too. But my favorite was just taking the bread and just
Oh,
dipping it in that broth.
absolutely. There was a
Oh,
place in the city, I don't know if it still exists, called Flex Mussels for
mm,
years. And you
Yes.
remember that?
Yes.
And you could get like you just would order mussels and then you could order the sauce, whatever sauce you wanted it cooked in. And some of it was curry, some of it was traditional Italian, like red sauce, some of it was just white wine and garlic. But they had so many, like maybe 20 different sauces. But man, we used to go there and get a big bucket and bread. It's the bread too.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's
I
awesome.
know.
Yeah.
I know. We're all
I was,
trying to be a little better.
I was watching earlier at the top of the show. You were talking about the pasta queen. What's her name? You showed her
Oh,
Oh,
oh my
yeah.
God.
name, Katarina.
Yeah.
Because I've been following her since pandemic.
Yeah.
She's so funny.
She's nutty, but she's interesting.
You said you thought she was Libra, so I had to look it up. She's Virgo, like me. So you were only one sign off. You were only one.
Virgo, that's interesting. She doesn't act like a Virgo.
She's a late Virgo. Yeah, she's a what? Is it late or early? Wait,
I bet
she's
she's a late Virgo because I bet she's closer to Libra. That's
she's
right.
27th. No, she's 27th
October.
27th.
of August.
Okay, so she's a Leo. That's close to Leo.
Leo
That's a
into
Virgo. That's a Virgo. My mother was a Virgo. She was very grounded. I mean, my mother was a Leo. My sister is a Virgo like you, and she's the boss. Like what I love about my sister is she doesn't waste a lot of words. Like as a matter of fact, she speaks less than I would actually like her to sometimes because I'm like, what is she thinking? But when she does speak, you listen. And she's younger than me, but I always say, "You're the boss, honey. You just take this." I don't want to be involved like with this family stuff. She's better at like filling out the paperwork, making decisions, dealing with anybody of any power. She's like, "I got it, honey. Don't worry. I'll take care of it." I'm like, whew. Yeah. So Virgo, that's a great sign. I have a lot of Virgo friends, very reliable people.
Yeah, it's a good sign. So I was glad to see that she's a Virgo too.
Yeah, okay. Okay, good to know. Now let me see. We have about how much time do we have? Okay, like 8 minutes. So what I usually like to end the show with is the show is about creativity, the people that watch it. And tonight we didn't have a lot of like live people watching. A lot of our regulars, I don't know, they're doing stuff, but the show we put it into gets circulated and then people watch it afterwards. And almost everybody that watches the show is some kind of a creative, whether they're a chef, whether they're a writer, an actor. There's all people that watch the show are also creative. So Lisa, do you first of all, I didn't get to ask you like where your ideas come from. I know you talked about that one that was kind of like it was almost channeled, but or do you go to shows and think, oh, that's like something I had on the shelf? Do you save things on the shelf? Do you Like, where do the ideas pop in from?
So many of them. I would say the majority of it is things that actually happened to me, or things that I witnessed, or a lot of things, conversations that I've heard. Like it's like I was banished to Staten Island for a couple of years.
I lived there for 3 years. I know all about
You
Staten.
lived in Staten Island
For 3 years, yeah.
2 years.
When I first moved here from 90 to 93.
Okay.
I know all about Staten Island.
I was working in Manhattan, and every morning I had to take that damn express bus.
Oh my God.
Where you're captive, and the things that I heard on that bus, I wrote an entire play, because it was right after Hurricane Sandy.
Oh my God.
And I mean, just crazy conversations, and the different cultural pockets in Staten Island. So the bus would, from one end of the island to another, it would drive through the different neighborhoods, and it was just amazing. So, but all to say, a lot of things I hear, things I experience. One thing I wrote, I was in a restaurant, and there was a mother and a daughter sitting next to me, and the mother couldn't see. I mean, she wasn't blind, but she didn't have her readers, her glasses.
Right.
Going to the daughter, what's that? What's 27? What's in number 20? The Thai restaurant. What's 27? And she's reading. No. What did you say 12 was again? And the daughter was going crazy. And it reminded me, I remembered when my mother became you become of the age where you need the readers.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I thought my mother was full of shit. Because you don't need glasses now. All of a sudden you can't see. I didn't know it was such a thing, that this really happens to you.
Yeah.
And so I wrote this whole play around it.
Oh my God, that's
And
great.
Karma came back and bit me in the butt because my daughter was 5, and we're in the supermarket, and I can't read the labels on the cans on the food, and I'm going, what did they do to these labels? Why did they making them so small?
Oh my God.
She just started to read, so I'm handing her cans, and I'm saying, what does that say? Read that to me.
Oh my God.
It happens. It's real.
It is. Oh no, I know that.
Not only do I have the readers, but I also have the library. Because
Yes.
You got
Yeah,
I feel like it's the day you turn 40.
Isn't it crazy?
Yeah. And I mean, I have a joke about it on the mic about, if you want to know someone's age, ask them what time it is. And if they go like this,
Right.
go back, they're over 40.
Yeah.
You know? And so it's, I mean, there's a whole joke that goes with it, but that's just part of it. And yeah, it's that's how you know. The men, it's like if they do the pullback, they're over 40. Yeah. And I used to watch my grandparents. They would just, my cousin Rena will identify with this. They would just pass the glasses to each other at the dinner table.
That's great.
Yeah, they go like, he'd be reading and she'd say, and he'd be like this. He would just,
Oh
and
my
then she'd put them on, and then she would look, and then he'd need them again, and then she would pass them back. And they did this, and it was just, I remember that as a kid. And now I do that with my coworkers. I mean, I have to use glasses every day, but like my coworkers at Brandy's or wherever, sometimes they're like, oh shit. I'm like, I just don't even say a word. And Bobby Belfry and I used to do that, like 2 old ladies. And he would be like, thanks, honey. And then he'd pass them back, because I'm like, Bobby, now I can't see. So we were like 2 little Italian ladies.
But somebody's in denial that they won't buy the glasses, and that's denial. I did that for a long time.
Yeah, of course. Well, we have them at work. We have them in all the drawers and places of, But for me, I have to have the what are they? They don't call them bifocals.
Progressives.
Yeah,
that's what I had to get. I couldn't. The readers were just screwing me up even worse. So I know.
You got to get. I listen, to me, I love it. Put them on. You don't worry about it. Now, Lisa, what words of advice would you give a fellow creative that has maybe hit a wall, maybe has writer's block, maybe is panicking, maybe feels like I have nothing to say, what words of advice would you give someone that is stuck?
And that's scary. Don't stop. Write if it's a writer, I say write anything. Write about what you did today. Write about what you want to do today. Write about something you heard. Go observe two people in the park and write down everything they say, and come home and make up the rest.
I love that.
Make up the rest, and it comes.
I love that so much. One of the things I used to do with my acting students that were a little bit younger, maybe like 12 to 14, they'd say, "Oh, I can't act. I don't know how to do that. I can't." I'd say, "Okay, you don't have to act. You know what? Here's what I need. Can anybody do impressions of their parents?" They'd be like, "Oh, I can't." Or how about a teacher? Can anybody do an impression of any of your teachers? Every single one of them could do an impression. And so they had that in them, and then so we would do the Viola Spolin, back-to-back scenes. And they would just start going at it. And it was amazing what they would create. And we would create these whole shows around characters that they had come up with in class on their own.
Wow.
Yeah. And it was just amazing, just them improvising. So to me, it's kind of along the lines of what you're saying. Observe other people. I think that's one of the most amazing things that you can do, So that's very, very good advice. I need that advice. Well, Lisa, it's been so nice hanging out with you.
Likewise. Thank you for having me. This was really nice.
Really, it was wonderful. Thank you for taking the time. And let's remind everybody, Lisa has, as part of a one-act festival called the Mac One Acts Play Reading Festival. And that is, the date again is?
This Thursday, the 14th of May. Okay. And that's Middletown, New Jersey. And then a week later, on May 21st, is What Happened to Frank down in the village on Bank Street at the West Beth Community.
Beautiful.
So, no admission. Everybody's welcome. Please come by and see us.
And you can follow Lisa on Facebook. You have an Instagram as well?
Yes.
Okay. And it's just
that actually is in the description, so we can click on that in the description.
Wonderful. Thank you, Leo, for doing everything that you. Leo's incredible.
Yes,
Lisa, what a joy to hang out with you for this time. I really, really enjoyed it, and hopefully I get to see you soon and break a leg and keep doing the wonderful work that you're doing. We really
thank you. And you too, Leo.
And we're here every Tuesday from 9 to 10 Eastern. Please come back and see us. And remember, we love and appreciate you very much. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.